cameras, lights, action. Alright, let's get to business. Alright, let's get into story time. Let me grab my coffee. Hopefully there's still some. Okay, there's still some. Iced coffee. You should grab yours or grab a snack, grab something. Let's have a chit chat. Let's talk about Hollywood. Let's get real right here, okay? All right. So I was in Hollywood for about 3 years, and people are always asking, like, how did you end up there? Like, oh my gosh, that's such a big deal. And if you pay attention, it's like everybody's dream to be in Hollywood. I mean, it's like every teenager's dream to be like, oh my gosh, one day Hollywood. It's like, it seems like such a big deal, and it's really like not. So, okay, all this caffeine. Okay, so I can talk. Okay, so I was started college. I was living in Long Beach at the time, and so the distance from Long Beach to Los Angeles, Hollywood, is about 30-40 minutes depending on traffic. And so at the time I had started college. I hated college. The only way I was making it through college was through some Adderall. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. And so I was doing horrible in school. I was going through so much depression, so many things, and I was like in this place in my life where I was looking for direction, and I needed something more for my life, because like I literally felt like I was about to end it. I mean, I was. And so I had this choice. Okay, I can either end my life or give life a big shot and move to Hollywood and become an actress and like pursue this huge dream I had. And so this dream came from a really young age. At the age like of 11, 12, I was already in modeling school. By the age of 15, I had been in my first movie as an extra in Mexico, and I remember loving the treatment of being on a set of a movie, like free food, you know, they do your makeup, you're like the center of attention, and it's fun. And I remember like just loving that and thinking to myself like, I can do that forever for my whole life. And so okay, that's me. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna continue. So I remember just like being like, oh my gosh, like this is what I want to do, but it seems impossible. That's like me risking my life, my career, me going through school. My dad's gonna kill me like if I quit school, because it was my dad's dream for me to go to school. And so I decided to move to Hollywood, and I was, at the time, I had met this guy, and you know, we hit it off, and he said I could live with him. So he lived right on Hollywood Boulevard, and we were dating. We were boyfriend and girlfriend, so decided to move in with him. I lived in Hollywood for about 3 years, and I was in a relationship with him those 3 years. Everything was great because he took care of all our bills, everything, and all I had to do was focus on pursuing my career, which gave me a lot of time to truly do what I had to do. So during those 3 years, the first year I didn't get too much work because I was getting my feet in. I was starting to get to know the industry, and at the time I was going by my old name, which was Dayana Madrigal. And then Madrigal was a little too hard for agents to say, so excuse me, see, I have manners. And so then, you know, Madrigal was too hard, so then we decided, you know what, like I need a new talent name so that it's easier for agencies to pronounce my last name. So we searched for names, and then we decided, after searching so much, I really liked the tone of how the name Dayana Grace sounded like. So we decided to go for Dayana Grace as my talent name. And then once I changed my name, there were so many new opportunities for me in the Hollywood industry. And so I started modeling and being in TV shows, and it was awesome. I mean, I've even been on MTV Jerks with Cameras for one episode, and did a few little things here and there, and then I ended up having my own TV show called Dayana Gray Show, which became a huge part of my focus in Hollywood, and everything was going great. Things were good. And so if you're wondering, like, how did I get in the industry, how did I find out about it? So when I was living in Long Beach, what I started doing was I would add on Facebook a bunch of people that were actors. So I switched my what I do for employment to actors so that I could be found by other actors. And then I started requesting a bunch of random actors in Hollywood and asking them to meet up to network. And that's actually how I met my ex-boyfriend, the person I was living with, because I had added him on Facebook. So I started meeting people like that, and then that opened doors for me to meet people in Hollywood and network, and also through Model Mayhem, which is a model website. And that's how I started getting my feet in the door. Then I started going through LA Casting, which LA Casting is a website for people that want auditions, whether it's for TV shows, movies, commercials, anything. Being an extra or being a lead role, LA Casting is a place to go if you're looking to where to find roles in LA. So I did that, and my time there was great. I met cool people. I was living right on Hollywood Boulevard, which is awesome, and I had some cool experiences. I mean, when I look back, I'm like, wow, that totally is like I would say like every teen's dream. You know, teenagers sit and they're like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to one day like go to Hollywood and like, you know, lights, action, cameras. And it is like that, but if you really think about it, not everything that shines is truly shiny. There's so much more that people don't talk about in the industry. So I have a lot of friends still in the industry, and these are people that have been in the industry for years. And you know, when you look at their Instagram or Facebook, it looks like they're living the life and they're traveling and doing all these great things, but behind closed doors, some of them are like Uber drivers, most of them are servers. They have like side hustles, they have side jobs because they need to pay for bills. And being an actress doesn't guarantee you that you're gonna be well. Just because you shot one big movie doesn't mean anything. I have a friend that's actually been seen in a lot of movies, and he still struggles. I mean, he's like constantly finding things to do to have money because it's a real hustle. It's stress, and a lot of people I personally know, they, in a way, they sacrifice their persona, their character, in order to get ahead. So I knew a guy that he came to Hollywood as a straight man, but then in order for him to get ahead in the industry, he started to have, you know, he became a bisexual man in order to get roles. So things that are stingy happen in the industry behind cameras, and I know a lot of you have heard this, and it's very true. For me, I was in a relationship, so I still tried my best to be just, you know, the best character I could have, but for me, I still had to network. And remember, like, back in the day, I didn't have God in my life, so I still had some pretty big flaws, and I would network with guys, go out one-on-one with them, just so that I, like, you know, more like just going out, getting to know them, not doing anything, but it was more of like, hey, you know, we become friends and help me get a role or help me get ahead. It's, Hollywood is very I'm gonna talk to you because if you can do something for me, I want you to be my friend. It's very like that. You have to constantly network, and anyone you meet, it's usually more like, hey, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? Like, how do we get ahead? Sometimes it's in a good way, sometimes it's not. So it's a lot of that. It can be mentally exhausting, and I generally know and believe that I was in Hollywood because it was from this place of wanting to be seen, like just me wanting to be seen, like saying like, look at me, and like, am I good? Am I enough? Like, I want all the lights, I want all the shine because I want to feel enough. And a lot of people in the industry, they are people in the industry because they want to be seen. They want to feel like they're enough. They want to feel like there's something. Some of them aren't even in the industry because they like it. Some of them are in it because they just want to be seen. And I don't want you to think this is for everyone, because it's not. There are actually, and I truly believe in my heart, that God has put that special gift in certain people to act and be in Hollywood, and that's where He's called them. So the whole acting thing doesn't go for everyone. However, I do believe that most people that are in Hollywood are there because they crave, their ego craves to be seen, to be wanted, to like everything. So I started doing this, and then my TV show was going great, and I found myself in this place of like death, like just literally death. I felt so dead inside. I felt like I didn't have a purpose. And so I knew that there was more to life, and I just couldn't understand it, because it was like, okay, I live in Hollywood, like not just Hollywood, like right on Hollywood Boulevard. I have an amazing man that loves me and treats me like a princess and gives me everything. And I was like, and I have this TV show, and I'm still like unhappy. Like, what's the matter? And at the time I was 21, so I was like, what is the matter with me? So a little after that, a few weeks after that moment, I met someone that shared their testimony with me. And this girl, she was also in the Hollywood industry, but had recently moved to San Diego to open her own salon. And so we were meeting for business because she wanted a commercial in my TV show. So we were talking, and then out of nowhere she starts sharing her faith, and how every time she has faith in God, like He shows up. And the way she was talking about God, I was like, that's what I want. Like, I want to have that type of faith. I want to see God show up in my life when I have faith like that. And growing up, God has always been a part of my life, because I did grow up going to church, but God was always something I rejected, that I didn't want, because I wanted lights, fame, the flashy more than God. So when she shared with me, it really resonated with me, and I realized, I was like, I feel dead inside because I'm missing God. So I went home, got on my knees, and I said to God, like, God, I'm a coward. I like my boyfriend, I like my money, I like my fame, I like everything more than I like you. However, I know that I have a calling in my life, and that you're calling me. And so I said, God, if you truly want me to live for you, because I'm done running away from you. If you truly want me to live for you, like, make it obvious, please, like, come and rock my world. So in a matter of 2 weeks, He did that, and everything changed for me. And then He spoke to me through Bible verses. I started opening my Bible, and He was really speaking to me, and people on Facebook were messaging me about God, and everything changed for me. So in a matter of 2 weeks, I said, I am going to live for God. I am going to have faith. I am going to let it all go and see where God takes me, what happens. So I decided to break up with my boyfriend, and he was my provider financially, and also with the TV show. The TV show had just started, so I wasn't really making that much money. So if I left my boyfriend, that meant I wasn't gonna have security, I was gonna have to say goodbye to Hollywood, and any fame I had was out the door. It was going to be gone. So I had to make that choice of like, you know what, I am going to let it go and trust God, and like jump all in for God and see what happens. And so yeah, in a matter of 2 weeks, I let it all go. I broke up with my boyfriend at the time. He was like saying like, please don't do this, like if it's because of God and you want to do things the right way, like I'll marry you tomorrow in the courthouse, and then I'll give you the wedding you want in a few months, but like don't do this. And I was like, I can't, because like me living for God means I want to see what God has for me. And I just, in my heart, I felt like He wasn't it. So I said to him, like, I want to trust God, and if God brings me back to you, that's fine, but like I can't be with you at the moment because I want to go all in for God. And I remember him saying, well, do you want to be a nun? Are you going to be a nun? And he kept saying like, is there another man in your life? And I was just like, I just want to like follow Jesus and see what happens. So I broke up with him. It was sad, but I never looked back again. and I moved to San Diego. I moved there because it had always been my dream to live by the ocean and in San Diego because it was so close to the border to Rosarito Beach. So from the border to Rosarito, Mexico, it's about like 30 minutes. So I was like, this is perfect. This is the perfect place to start. So I moved there. I knew that if I stayed in Hollywood, I wasn't gonna be able to truly pursue that relationship I wanted with God. So I knew I needed to get away from my ex, from Hollywood, and start somewhere where it could just be me and God. So I started off there, and yeah, it has been now almost 4 years. I think it is 4 years that I have been living all in for God. It has been amazing. So I moved to San Diego and was there for 3 years. During those 3 years, God grew me spiritually. I even went through ministry school. I went on a missions trip to South Africa. I made amazing friends that are like some of my closest friends. And then during those 3 years, God called me to move to South Africa as a missionary, and I did. It was awesome. I was in South Africa for 7 months, and before me moving to South Africa, I was in a horrible car accident where my car rolled down the freeway 3 times, but it was life-changing because it allowed me to let go of self-control and like just control, like this horrible control, and like to trust God even more and go deeper with Him. And that accident changed my life. And then after that accident, 3 months later, I ended up meeting my husband. And then during my time in South Africa, him and I were dating long distance. And to make it short, got back from South Africa, and then we got married in May. So I am married now. So yeah, I am with my amazing husband. We've been married for 4 months. I love him. He's such an amazing man of God, and even how we met is all God. We met during a layover at the airport, which is so God, and he loves Jesus, and oh, I love how God works. And now I am living in Oklahoma, so not LA. But yeah, I feel like God is good. I mean, I am not in the industry at the moment, but I do have a calling to be in the creative industry, but I do creative stuff to glorify God. So this is where I'm at. I let go of Hollywood in order to pursue Jesus, and Jesus is the light. He's the one that shines, and I am going to be a part of giving God the glory in everything I do. And yeah, so this is it. Let me know if you have any more questions about anything I shared. And if somehow you truly feel called into the acting industry or anything related to like modeling or filming, let me know. I would love to give you resources. So yeah, thanks for watching. I love you guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You know what to do. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah.